Valerian.
Gorgeous, wildly imaginative, dumber than a bag of hammers. I don't know what to say.
I can say I loved it.
I liked this movie too.
Even though
it is the dumbest fucking thing I've seen in a while.
Every criticism you have heard is correct.
Yeah, there is not a criticism I've heard that wasn't correct. In fact, I found new criticisms that I had not even. There's some things in this movie that I didn't even read about.
So friggin' stupid, but I think it's funny. When we came out of this, we both had the exact same thought. People watching us are probably fans of Mystery Science Theater, and if you've seen the new one,
you mentioned it, yeah. Okay, so I came out of this film. Our dad saw it too, and I turned to him on the way out. Doug was well ahead of me. I said, "You know what this was? This was Star Crash with a $100-something million budget."
Yeah.
And my dad's like, "Yeah, that's right." You 20 minutes later come up to me. You know what that was, Rob? I'm like, "What? That was Star Crash."
Yeah. Like, see, here's the thing. You cannot go into this movie thinking you're gonna see a good movie.
Go into this movie thinking I'm gonna see hilarious space trash.
Just stupid nonsense.
Yeah, and I mean on a level far below Fifth Element. Fifth Element's like just Shakespeare compared to this.
And here's the thing we should make clear, what we thought of Fifth Element, because a lot of people are like, wasn't this like a sequel? No, it's not a sequel, but it's the same people, and it's kind of what Fifth Element was inspired by. And Fifth Element...
It's the better movie, honestly.
The better movie, I love Fifth Element, but okay... It's fucking stupid.
Oh yeah,
it's
no, Fifth Element.
Stupid
Fifth
movie.
Element's dumb too, but Fifth Element was more grounded than this one.
No, but somewhere somebody, you know, like this mindset came in as, oh yeah, this is a classic, this is a masterpiece, Fifth Element. It's like, no, it's stupid,
well,
but it's
in the same
beautiful,
way.
it's imaginative.
No, the same way. Okay, Episode 4, A New Hope. It's got a lot of dumb in it, but it's still considered a masterpiece. It's like that. It's like, okay, this is silly, dumb space opera fun, like, but it's still...
Well, but I mean, I don't know.
Why are you doing this to Fifth Element?
No, because I love Fifth Element, but somewhere people just put on this, like, huge pedestal, and I'm just like, okay, no, look, this world is phenomenal. I would even argue this world is even more phenomenal. You know, that's... there's kind of a trade. So this world has, like, where in Fifth Element you get about 5 or 6 really amazing worlds. This has like dozens of amazing worlds, amazing creatures. They are everywhere. You could watch it a million times and not see all the amazing creatures. And yet you're stuck with only
humans and these avatars.
No. I'd argue you do see a lot of these worlds and a lot of these aliens and creatures, and I want to know more about them and stuff. But here's the thing. Fifth Element has very likable, goofy, but very likable, charming main characters. This one... they're likable in a different way, in that they are
because they're awful.
So awful, and a lot of that, sadly, is the acting.
Okay.
But it is so funny.
I can't take... Okay. You know, comedians rip off material from other comedians and other sources, and I'm not going to do that here. So I'm going to give credit where all credit is due. So to our critic friend who works at RogerEbert.com, Matt Fagerholm, this is for you. He texted us and said... Valerian is what would happen if you made that Legend of Zelda animated cartoon from the Super Mario Super Show a live-action movie.
That's pretty much
in space. And once he said that, and once I sat there and watched it, I could not unsee it. To the point that every line this kid says... And every line that girl says just were making me laugh, because any second I was expecting an "Excuse me, Sergeant," or fiance, or love interest.
To make it funnier, this kid, the girl about half the time I could take seriously. The other half, she's super flat. But this kid...
She's just there to be the serious foil. Just why are we doing it like this?
This boy has... the goofiest Keanu Reeves voice, and I'm not talking about now Keanu Reeves. Like, I finally gotten kind of used to Keanu Reeves' voice. Like, he's done some stuff.
This is Bill and Ted Keanu
Yeah,
Reeves
this is totally Bill and Ted trying to sound tough. This is Bill and Ted trying to sound like John Wick.
I'm totally going to, like, shoot you in the face.
Every time he talked, we all just were snickering and laughing.
Doug, I'm allergic to feathers. One of the best lines in the movie.
Yeah, we just couldn't stop laughing.
No, it's not only Keanu Reeves. He's ascended a level above Keanu Reeves. He is the Keanu Reeves spoof in Kung Fury. Go watch it on Netflix if you know. But like literally everything he said reminded me of Kung Fury. Just Hacker Man, the greatest hacker on the planet. Like, everything he says is just super serious. We have to do this.
You know him?
Hitler. You know him?
Yeah, so this and okay, so if you go in thinking you're gonna see a good movie, you're not.
You're in for a world of hurt, actually.
And I guess
if you go in knowing it's bad, I think you're gonna have a great time.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are. The reason I brought Fifth Element before is because I think like a lot of people are saying, oh, well, Fifth Element was so much higher, and I do like Fifth Element better, but there's kind of this sense that people go and think, well, we're gonna see something really good and really groundbreaking, and really, it's like, oh, I thought it was gonna be like Fifth Element. Fifth Element is still pretty stupid, and this is too, but it does not have the charm that Fifth Element has.
Yeah, there are some major differences here. One, Fifth Element had more practical effects. The CGI in this, some of it's very good, some of it is laugh out loud funny. Like,
because it's everywhere, but
yeah, I'm just like, some of the CGI is awful, and some of it's really, really good. But there's like but it's inconsistent. Like, there are some shots that look so fake.
To be fair.
But there was more of a reliance on practical effects in Fifth Element, though. Sorry, there was.
Fifth Element was a good mix.
The other thing is, Fifth Element was better paced, and it was funnier. This one is not. This one is very funny, but it's unintentionally. They aren't like obvious jokes. It's just his line reads are. Like, I'm sure people were ready to kill me because I was laughing every time he opened his mouth, or he would squint his eyes and do this thing like, I'm thinking of something.
No, I just,
or look at,
2 minutes in, I was just laughing. I said, I can't do this.
Yeah,
but when I finally just accepted the craziness, I'm like, okay, it's like this weird nirvana of
From the first few lines he had, I'm laughing my ass off, and I'm like, this is the most amazing performance I've ever seen. Doug is like, I can't do this. By the end of it, Doug got Stockholm Syndrome. It's like, I have identified with my captor.
No, it took me about 2 minutes. It took me 2 minutes to stop worrying and love the bomb.
Yeah, no, I love him in this, but it is not good. It's a Tommy Wiseau quality.
Yeah, and a lot of the other actors kind of do the Fifth Element over the top, particularly like the guy in the marketplace,
super
just
serious.
like or just be sure to put on your.
I love that guy.
Are you ready?
He was the Chris
Fifth Element, and there's these three little aliens that all talk kind of in unison and one at a time.
They were the best thing in the movie.
Yeah, so there's a lot of those moments. See, I thought this whole movie was going to be super, super dull, super, super boring, and take itself too seriously, but it is still goofy, and it is still
See, my problem
dumb, but when it tries to be taken seriously, it fails so hard that's hilarious.
See, to me, it was super, super fun, super, super wildly imaginative, and then loses all that somewhere after the halfway point.
I say kind of the last third.
Yeah, there's like a couple...
kind of the same with the Fifth Element. Fifth Element goes a little stale after they leave the cruise.
After the,
but it's shorter.
But it's fast. That's fast.
It's shorter,
yeah. This one just lingers.
You could chop 30 minutes out of it
that's
so
the biggest problem
it's mostly
with this movie
side quests, but I love the side quests.
You just need to chop 30 minutes. And the last part, you know, there's a sequence that is way too Phantom Menace-y for me. We're like, we're underwater being chased by giant things. I'm like, where's Jar Jar? The scene where they're feeding the big emperor dude, I actually liked that.
Yeah, no, totally pointless. No,
but how they got there was just made no sense.
Honestly,
like,
the majority of this movie, in terms of tying to a story, you can cut. It's all side quests, but they're so entertaining.
It's Legend of Zelda. It's all about the side quests.
But they're so entertaining. There's this great joke involving the hat that the main girl is wearing, and it's just beautifully built up to, and
Sombrero Amidala, as I call her.
And it's so funny. It's such a great payoff, and I'm like, okay, no, I felt like this kind of has similar problems that Jupiter Ascending has, but it has a good sense of humor.
It's a way better movie than Jupiter Ascending.
It's more fun. It's like, even when it's bad, it's entertaining. Jupiter Ascending, when it's bad, with the exception of Eddie Redmayne, it's just boring.
No, that's a good way of putting it, though. Take Jupiter Ascending and remove the self-seriousness of it.
Yeah.
And, like, that's probably close to this, and it's more entertaining, like, just straight up, but there are problems. Those three dudes, though,
the little Howard the
were
Duck
my favorite.
Gremlins.
No, I said it's like what would happen if you took Huey, Dewey, and Louie and put them in that machine from The Fly. Like, that's what they look like to me. Or like if Howard the Duck was a meth addict. Like, those three were great. It's super... Okay, my problem with the film is it's super wildly imaginative. Like, I'm like, okay, there's shit I haven't seen, but there is an over-reliance on CGI where it's so unnecessary. I'm like, really? The guy who gave us Fifth Element, he gave us the diva singing, And I thought it was a cool costume. And this one, it's essentially the same characters. It's these Avatar ripoffs. And I'm like, why are they CGI?
Yeah.
You could have done this without CGI. Hired super tall, thin supermodels, and there you go.
And here's my problem. I was bringing this up. Okay.
And it's really distracting.
Yeah, no, you have all
much.
these aliens, and it's like, this is supposed to be a world. This is so great at creating this world and stuff like that. How come every single body type of these things looks exactly the same? Do they never eat more? Are any born shorter? Are any a little whiter or skinnier or whatever?
It's like, very similar.
They are all exactly the same.
What, all these aliens look alike to you?
No, not even take out the face. No, the faces are probably the most different.
Yeah.
All the bodies look exactly the same. And I'm so sick of that in sci-fi.
The only thing about the effect, the only thing was the lips. Somehow the lips I bought, everything else around their bodies, I did not. And their world is beautiful. I mean, it's highly imaginative. I'm not against the idea of how they look.
I could be in that screensaver forever.
Yeah, this is literally DeviantArt Desktops the movie.
But I'm okay with that.
And it's gorgeous.
I'm just really okay with that.
I just wish that, like, he put more practical effects in with the CGI, because there are moments where there are guys in suits, there are robots in real suits, they're really there.
Yeah.
There's some
alien makeups and stuff.
That scene where the aliens are all talking in the council room, they're all really there. I'm like, and you can tell it sticks out like a sore thumb because it's practical fucking effects. And I get if you want to use CGI sometimes.
And the sets and the world, you need CGI.
And, some of the CGI on the long shots is great, like, but I'm just like, if you can put people in the makeup, then what the fuck are you doing here with this, like, particularly Luc Besson, who made like some cool practical effects for the other movies. So that bothered me.
So this movie is getting a ton of hate, even from the people we saw it with. My dad, who Fifth Element is his favorite movie, and he was just like, "Oh, this was so boring. I couldn't get into it and stuff."
And I agree. The excitement factor for me teeters out somewhere in the last third. But
it's weird because I did
like the first half a lot. I thought it was very fun and exciting. He didn't like any of it.
I know what they're talking about. I know what people that dislike it talk about. But again, I was going in with the idea that this was going to be a dumb, bad movie, and I got that. It was entertainingly dumb. It was entertainingly bad until, again, about the last third. And then I'm like, okay, we need to wrap this up. Evil man taking over the native whatever.
Okay, that's the point. The only points where bothered me, like, it was unimaginative when they went underwater. And I'm like, okay, I saw this in the Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Maybe it's in the graphic novel. Like, well, we have to do it. It's in the graphic. But I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah, we don't know anything about it.
Then maybe Lucas ripped it off of the Valerian graphic novel. But the point is, we've seen it on screen already, so come up with something better.
Some bad dub changes, by the way. If you watch their lips, there's a lot of times where it's like, okay, that's not what they said. That's not the voice. And even like the weird Avatar aliens, they say, this is our Emperor so-and-so man with his wife and stuff like that. It gets up, hello, how are you? Just clearly a woman voice, and I'm just like, there are other ones that have like male voice. How does this, it's not a female body, or they just identifies it, but you have a kid? Did you adopt? It's like, even in their own world, there's sort of these things that don't add up and make sense, and they can be a little distracting.
But when it was original, it was really good. Like, I'm just like, okay, I haven't seen this before. Like,
I would honestly see this again. Even I would.
Once, I think once, like fifth,
No, I would, but with the fast forward button. There's lots of scenes
on the small screen I'd see it. I'm not sure I would see it on the big screen again.
I wish I could. I wish I did.
I would sit through the first 2/3 of it again.
Okay, this was
and
not.
then leave and go watch the rest of Dunkirk.
Yeah, no, this was not showing at IMAX. I think Dunkirk probably had that, and it's one of those where my wife leaned over and said, was this available on IMAX? This would have been really nice. And no, like that would have been. I would have loved.
That's rough because Dunkirk was so good in IMAX.
No, I know.
I saw Dunkirk.
I'm sure it is.
I've seen everything you haven't.
Yeah, I gotta see Apes still, and I gotta see
Dunkirk is good.
Dunkirk.
Apes was surprisingly really good.
This I knew I wanted to see on the big screen, so I'm like, okay, so this kind of took top priority.
And we both saw Baby Driver, and we like that, so
yeah.
Honestly, this is probably the least of everything I've seen, but I'm still like, no, I thought it was a lot of fun.
It's a pretty good summer so far, honestly.
I'm blown away by what a we've had a few duds, but not many compared to most.
We even got a good DC film, man. We're doing pretty good.
Wait for it, Justice League is still.
True. Well, that's not summer though. That's November.
Yeah, thank God for that.
But no, and even this one that's getting pretty panned by people. I'm like, this is still just mind-blowingly imaginative and fun and adventurous, and so even if you just watched it on mute, you could get some great stuff out
It's like
of it.
watching a Mystery Science Theater movie. I know some people that don't like Mystery Science Theater, even with the guys commenting. They're just like, I just don't like these movies that much.
I get it, yeah.
And it's kind of like that. It's like, if you're not into that kind of bad sci-fi, then you're not like... You're just not going to get anything out of it. So I get that. I will say this, though. Like, the people who are just like, oh my god, it's sitting at 60% and Rotten Tomatoes.
56,
like,
technically.
50, okay, 56, whatever. I'm like, do they remember what the reviews were when Fifth Element came out? The one we revere as a classic now? It's sitting at 70% on Rotten Tomatoes, and that's after people have come around and been like, oh no, actually, it's probably a really decent movie.
No, that did not get good reviews.
It went up over time. It did not. It got very mixed reviews when it was released.
Again, I can't act like I don't get that, even though I hugely enjoy Fifth Element. It's like, but it is stupid.
When I saw Fifth Element the first time, I didn't know what to make of it. Like I think you liked it. I know Dad liked it. I was just because we were in high school.
But even then, I knew it was stupid.
Yeah, I kind of looked at it. I was like, I don't know if I like that. I think I did. I mean, I guess I had fun. Like, it wasn't until it came out on DVD and I started watching it then. I'm like, oh, this is a really, really good movie. Now, I have no idea. Maybe that will not happen at all, and this movie will only get worse. I will say this movie to me already looks dated on arrival.
I think it'll be
DOA, dated on arrival.
I think it's going to get better and worse. I can almost assure you this is going to get a following.
Fifth Element, when I saw it a few weeks ago, held up. I'm like, I'm amazed at how this movie could still be released today and for the most part work. Not much looks dated. This one, with the CGI, some of it is so good, but there are other scenes I'm like, this already looks dated. Like, this came out 10 years ago.
Well, and to be fair, so much
because
of it, like,
it's so oversaturated. You can't put all your money in on one effect.
I was gonna say you have, exactly. You have like 6 worlds maybe in Fifth Element. You have something like 12 here. I mean, it's too spread out.
You got so many worlds, and so the thing is, like,
but
there's
I love those worlds so much. I'm like, I'm okay.
I will say this though. My wife pointed this out, and I thought the same thing. She's just like, my only thing is, they did this whole, like, cheat sheet thing at the beginning where it's just like, and these aliens do these things, and these aliens do these things. These aliens are cool, they're underwater. And it's just like, oh, cool, I guess they're all going to participate, or we're going to see them, or we're going to go to these. No, you just never see them again. Then there was the one guy, who the voice by John was like, I will find you. I will find you and I will hunt you down, Valerian.
Through the galaxies, I will find you.
You will die!
Or just a 10-minute chase scene.
Yeah, and then you never see
after it.
And I'm like, well, what was the point of that then? Like,
there's tons of things like that. The one I pointed out is that there's a scene where it's like, both the main characters spend a good 10-20 minutes, like one is where she's saving him and then another 20 minutes is him saving her, and it's like both are pretty pointless, but it's like, okay, he sees different worlds and stuff, but there's one scene where it's like, you know, it's these aliens fishing, it's these butterflies, and she grabs one and hauls her up, and she's put in this little wooden cage and taking out and stuff like that, so he's like, oh no, I gotta go save her, and you know, so he grabs a butterfly, goes up, and they reel him up, it goes, hello, and shoots him, and
why
I'm
did
like,
she do that?
She had a blast, why did she shoot him?
It was kind of random,
like, don't, this gun, I don't know, wooden cage, here I go.
No, it's very much like just random, just like, I'm a strong female character, except when I'm not, and he's just like, I understand and love you, and I'm the best agent on the planet, except when I'm not. No, like, it's just very,
no, my favorite is when he says,
I'm gonna hunt you down to the very end of time, except when I don't.
No, my favorite
These aliens are doing cool things, except when you don't see them again.
My absolute favorite at the end, I try not to laugh, is when they have like a decision, and he says, no, you don't get it. I'm by the book. I always follow the rules.
Do you?
Since when?
I know.
What the hell are you talking about? How many rules have you broken? How many different ways did you find around stuff?
No, it's great. Like,
I really like this movie.
Yeah, but
it's not good. It's not good.
Its charm, it's like The Room. Its charm in that it's kind of
but it's very imaginative.
But I had a good time.
Thrilling.
I will tell you,
if too long,
if it just sounds to you like you're just like, why am I going to waste my time on tripe like that? Then don't. Like, I'm not gonna.
If you are looking for things to not like about, you will find plenty.
If you're the type that's just like, well, I could see a thrilling work of art like Dunkirk, or I could sit through Valerian, like, just see Dunkirk.
Go see Dunkirk. Go see Apes. I haven't seen Apes, and I'm like, I'm sure it's the better film.
Dunkirk's amazing. Apes is amazing. Apes, honestly, I still think is probably the better film even than Dunkirk. So it's, I don't know. It's weird. Like, That damn monkey movie's the best thing I've seen all year, so...
This is really one of those, if you want to just check your brain, throw it out, go and enjoy some visuals and laugh at how stupid the stuff you're seeing on screen is. That's what it was for me, and I know people aren't going to be able to get into it. It's
literally marijuana, the movie.
Yeah.
You just go there, you get baked, you're like, I want popcorn, and then you laugh at the most ridiculous, silly things, and odds are, you're going to be the only one laughing in the cinema. Like... Because other people aren't in on the joke, except for that one guy who was sitting like,
behind us,
that was, no, my favorite, so they had a trailer.
Wait, we have like 2 minutes left.
Okay, so very quickly, they had a trailer for Pitch Perfect 3, which looks terrible, and I actually like the first one, and that one line she has is like, well, like, I'm Felicity, I'm this, and she's like, well, like, if you include me, like, I could be obesity. Way in the back, I just hear like this laugh, and I was like, oh my god, like, I guess he liked that joke. And then, yeah, like, random moments in the middle of this movie just...
I hope we weren't laughing like that.
No, we weren't. No, I was snickering, because anytime he opened his lips, so, we have to do this to complete the mission. I was... I was laughing like the whole time.
We had a blast.
Yeah.
We can't guarantee if you will. It's tough. I'm not gonna lie, but hopefully you can.
The score on Rotten Tomatoes does not surprise me.
No.
So if you love this movie, be kind if people don't. I get what they're coming from. If you hated this movie, be kind to people like us who enjoyed it anyway, because I think
this will get a following, but it will not be as big as like Fifth Element.
It'll be a Jupiter Ascending following.
No, I want to say a Star Crasher.
Star Crash, yeah, it's more entertaining than Jupiter Ascending.
I think people really find it entertaining like that.
But definitely, I think this will become one of those goofy cult movies.
Yeah, I can't see how it cannot.
It will not achieve that closer to masterpiece status like
no. But that's our take. We have like a minute of battery left, so we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
I'm allergic to feathers.